There's somebody in my house.
Don't go looking into other people's houses. You won't like what you see.
Hello YouTube land and all subsequent social media lands. Welcome to an all new review. In this review we're going to be talking about a new film that just dropped on Netflix this past Friday. Was originally intended to release in theaters last summer but ended up getting pushed back because of the pandemic. And this is just an amazing lead film by the great Amy Adams, and we're going to get right into that. But before we do that, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on this video or any of the other videos I put up. As always people, hit that bell notification button so that you're made and alerted when new videos do drop. And as always people, if you enjoy my content and want to see other daily content, definitely check out my other social media platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, which I usually daily do post every day. So definitely check that out too people. And as always, let's get right into this. So welcome one and all to an all new video. So like I was saying before, we're going to be doing a review of an Amy Adams-led film that just got released on Netflix back this past Friday. And that happens to be the film called, wait for it, The Woman in the Window. Oh yeah, The Woman in the Window. Ooh, The Woman in the Window. So Woman in the Window is very reminiscent to Rear Window, made by Alfred Hitchcock, that starred the great James Stewart, or Jimmy Stewart. And basically it's almost the same type of premise, but with different twists throughout the film. Now this film has received a lot of great, has been given lots of negativity, lots of stuff like that, but I thought it was really enjoyable, and I actually thought that the plot twists were really fun, and really made the film different than anything I've seen in quite a while. Now this film is none other directed by a gentleman that goes by the name of Joe Wright. Oh yeah, Joe Wright. Ooh. So Joe Wright's known for making the films Atonement and films such as that. But a couple of films I really enjoyed that he's directed as follow. Now the first film is a great film that won Best Actor nomination back in 2018, I believe, for its main actor in the film, that is based on the true life story of Winston Churchill. And that, of course, is the film called The Darkest Hour. Oh yeah, The Darkest Hour. Ooh, this is such a phenomenal film. It was so well done. The work that they put into this film to make it very accurate and very realistic, and like you felt like you were transported back to 1940s during World War II over in the United Kingdom, was so well done. And the prosthetics and the costumes and all the art direction, all that stuff was so well done with this film, and it was just an amazing film. And Joe did an amazing job of bringing this, true life story to life and giving us this amazing performance by Gary Oldman himself that just was beyond amazing. If you haven't seen The Darkest Hour, definitely check it out, people. It's worth the watch. Now, the second film that Joe Wright directed that I thought was a great film, and also was panned by critics, and I think it's funny that this was panned by critics because it was actually a really well done film. I mean, there was definitely elements of it that weren't the greatest, but still, overall, it was a great film. And then, of course, is the, basically like the prequel story to Peter Pan and Captain Hook called Pan. Oh yeah, Pan. Ooh, so I thought this was a really enjoyable Peter Pan take, and I liked that it was supposed to be like a prequel, kind of teaching you how Peter Pan becomes Peter Pan, and kind of how, Captain Hook becomes Captain Hook, and stuff like that, and I thought it was a really clever idea, because we hadn't really seen that in any other film of a live-action format or an animation. And I thought Joe did a great job of giving this very visually appealing film with lots of great CGI effects, great artwork, and just a great scenery all together that just brought together this really interesting kind of story of Peter Pan and Captain Hook and kind of their relationship. And I thought Joe also did a great job of like directing the actors and actresses into bringing the best available like conception of their characters, and I thought that he brought that out in them. And I just thought it was a really well-rounded film. If you haven't seen Pan, definitely give it a whirl, people. It's worth the watch, and Joe Wright did a great job of directing it. Now, it comes to directing The Woman in the Window. I thought that Joe did an amazing job, too, as well. I thought that he had a great clear, concise story that he really conveyed really well. I mean, every element of the film kept you on your feet, and also just kept you wanting to see what else was going to unfold. And I thought Joe did a great job of directing that and giving us that realism at the same time as giving us this really interesting, different concept of a, Alfred Hitchcockian type of film. Because like I said, it's very similar to Rear Window, but with that great different twist in the film. Great directing by Joe Wright. If you haven't seen any of Joe Wright's stuff, definitely check him out. He's worth the watch. So this film has a really great ensemble cast. From Gary Oldman to Julianne Moore, a great cast. Brian Tyree Henry. It's got an amazing cast that just really unfolded in the film. Now, the first person I'm going to be talking about, which is the great main lead actress herself, Miss Amy Adams. Oh yeah, Amy Adams. Woo, Amy Adams. Oh my God, Amy Adams. I've been in love with this woman since I saw her in Drop Dead Gorgeous. I think she's amazing. I think she's awesome as an actress. I think she's gorgeous and beautiful. Red hair always gets me. And she is just hands down an amazing actress and person too as well. But a couple films I really enjoyed her in and thought that she just was really fantastic in her as follow. The first one happens to be a great 2007 live-action Disney film that actually is going to be getting a sequel soon, which is going to be really awesome. And that, of course, is a film called Enchanted. Oh yeah, Enchanted. Oh yeah, Enchanted. Ooh. So Enchanted is a great, amazing live-action film that has some, animation in the film along with the live-action. And basically it kind of takes all those, animation stories that we were, familiar with and brings it to life on the big screen, basically. And that's pretty much what you get from this film. And it's just a really well-done film, and Amy just really shined this film. From her musical performances just to her characterization of the character, she really brought this character to life, and you just fell in love with her. And her interactions with James Marsden, Patrick Dempsey, and everyone that's involved, Susan Sarandon, they all work so well together, and Amy just really brought the best out of all these actors into this film, and she just brought a great elegance to the film too as well, and just made it really enjoyable. If you haven't seen Enchanted, definitely give it a chance, people. Definitely give it a whirl. It's worth the watch, and it's a great Disney film. Now, the second film that Amy Adams was in that I really enjoyed her in, I thought she put out an astounding performance, is the film called American Hustle. Oh yeah, American Hustle. Now, the movie in a whole is an okay film. It isn't the greatest, but Amy Adams' performance in this film as kind of like the wife of Christian Bale's character was just spot on perfection, I thought. I thought she really brought this character to life, and definitely she deserved her Oscar nom, and she definitely should have won. Now, she just brought a greatness to this character, a realness of what it would be like to be, a wife of a person that does the stuff that Christian Bale's character does. And I thought that Amy did a great job of bringing, what it would be really like for that person. What a woman would do if they were in that type of situation. And I thought she brought a great realism to the character. And I just thought her interaction with everyone worked really well, too, just like in Enchanted. And I thought that she just did an outstanding performance that was, you're just sitting there watching her and just, you're in awe of her. And you feel every inch of what she's feeling throughout the whole entire film. She just was so great in the film. If you haven't seen American Hustle, definitely give it a try, people. It's worth the watch for Amy Adams' performance. She was really great in it. Now, it comes to her performance in The Woman in the Window. I really enjoyed it. I liked the depiction she brought to the character. I love that she gave us a pretty good realism to what a person would, be doing if they had agoraphobia, or if they were a person dealing with the struggles that they've had and things that have happened in their life that they're trying to kind of shut out of their mind, but unfortunately it's still back there in the back of their mind. And Amy just did a good job of, giving us a performance of a person that would have this disability, and I thought it was really well done. Really enjoyed her in the film and thought she was a great addition to that film and a great lead in that film. So that brings me to the second actor I like to talk about in this film. And that, of course, is another mainstay in the film, Mr. Gary Oldman. Oh yeah, Gary Oldman, woo! So Gary Oldman we all probably recognize from such films as, of course, The Darkest Hour, that he plays Winston Churchill for winning his Academy Award. We also recognize him from the film Fifth Element, of course, as one of his other biggest roles. But there's a couple other films I really enjoyed him in, or one is a trilogy and one is a single film by itself. And then, of course, are as such. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the trilogy of films that he made, that he plays the great Jim Gordon in these films. And then, of course, is the Batman Begins trilogy. Oh yeah, the Batmans. Ooh, so from Batman Begins to Dark Knight Rises, his Jim Gordon performances were so amazing. He was a perfect selection for that character. He was awesome in every single one of those films. He just, hands down, was amazing as Jim Gordon. And I think he's the best Jim Gordon I've ever seen. I've always enjoyed him as the character. I thought he did a phenomenal job as the character. I love the essence and the presence he brought to the character. I love the fact that, he plays kind of like a hardened character, but at the same time, you can see that he has, a great personality, but also he has heart, and that he's trying to do what's right and not be corrupted by the powers of, Gotham City. And he just is so amazing as this character. If you've been seeing the Batman Begins trilogy, definitely check it out, people. They're worth the watch, and Gary Oldman rocks as Jim Gordon. Now, the second film I enjoyed him in is a great film that came out in 1994 that stars Natalie Portman in one of her first roles along with the amazing John Reno. And then, of course, the film called The Professional. Oh yeah, Leon, the Professional. Oh yeah, so this is a Luc Besson film, and this movie is on point, one of the greatest films of all time. This movie is hands down, Natalie Portman's rise to star, of course, but also one of Gary Oldman's best villains ever. He was so awesome this film as the villain. His characterization, his delivery of the character, and just his interactions with everyone in the film just was a really great villain performance. He was so good as character. If you haven't seen Leon the Professional, definitely check it out for Gary's performance. He was amazing. Now, it comes to his performance in The Woman in the Window. I thought he was decent. I liked him in it. I thought he played, the type of character he was very well. I mean, Gary Oldman, hands down, is always just a good actor. I'm always going to enjoy him in anything he does. But I wouldn't say this is one of his best performances, and it was kind of similar to some other performances I've seen him do. But still, at the same time, I thought he was a great addition and did a good job of playing the character that he portrays. Dealing with the consequences that he's dealing with, and trying to make the best of it and do the best he can to prevent more of it happening. And I thought that he interacted with Amy Adams and everyone really well and gave us a really great performance of a person really stressed to a certain point, not knowing what to do. And I thought that he still was a great addition to the film. If you haven't seen Gary Oldman in anything, definitely check him out in The Woman in the Window. He definitely was decent. So that brings me to the third person I'm going to be talking about that's in this film. And that, of course, is the other kind of main character in the film that we see pretty much throughout the whole entire film. That is, of course, Mr. Wyatt Russell! Oh yeah, Wyatt Russell, woo! So Wyatt Russell we all know as Johnny from the Falcon the Winter Soldier TV series on Disney+. He played that character to the T. We also know him as the amazing Kurt Russell's son and Goldie Hawn's son. And he just is a really coming into his own actor that I feel as time has gone on, he's gotten better and better and better, and I've really enjoyed him in things as he's progressed. Now, a couple of films that I've seen him in that I thought he did a really decent job in. Now, the first one happens to be a 1998 film where he plays the younger version of his father. And that, of course, the film called Soldier. Oh yeah, Soldier. Ooh. So Soldier is a great sci-fi film that Kurt Russell stars in. And at one point in the film, there is a scene where they show a 11-year-old version or so of himself as a kid. And who else plays him is Mr. Wyatt Russell, his own son, who looks very similar to him. And for what little scene it was, I thought Wyatt did a really good job of portraying his dad. He had his mannerisms down. He had him, I felt, to the T. I thought he did a good job of portraying what Kurt Russell would be like at that age, even though we saw him on screen when he was around that age. And I thought that, Wyatt did a good job of portraying that character that is in Soldier and bringing it to that youthful light. And I thought he just did a really good job. If you haven't seen Soldier, definitely give it a whirl, people. Check out Wyatt Russell when he was younger and see how great a performance he was at portraying his dad. The second film that Wyatt Russell was in that I really enjoyed him in was a great sequel film to a great 2012 film that is based on a popular TV series back in the 80s and early 90s. And that, of course, is the film called 22 Jump Street. Oh yeah, 22 Jump Street. Ooh, starring the awesome Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill. Love this freaking film. It was a great sequel. So well done. The introduction to the amazing Wyatt Russell. This is the first movie I actually ever saw Wyatt Russell in that I remember I knew that was Wyatt Russell, was this film. And I absolutely loved Wyatt Russell's character in this film. I loved the camaraderie he had with him and Channing Tatum. I loved that he brought this kind of great realness to the character. A very loving type of person that is like really into the person, but it's a very awesome relationship. And I just loved that camaraderie he brought to the character and how you really liked him. You really liked Russell's character. And you thought that Wyatt was really awesome and you really enjoyed him. And he just really was a great addition to that film and giving us this really great performance that I thought was really well-rounded and really, put out there. Like, he did his research and really researched how to bring this character to life. And I just thought he did a really fun job. He was super hilarious in it too as well, showed his comedy chops. And I just thought it was a really amazing performance. If you haven't seen 22 Jump Street, check out Wyatt in it. He was awesome in it. Now it comes to his performance in The Woman in the Window. I enjoyed his character. I loved the kind of sinister feel he brought to the character, even though he actually wasn't really sinister, like there was anything really wrong with him. He had his doubts or his bouts with the law, but at the same time, his character just was a really great character, and I love that kind of, like I said, that evil lurking feeling he had where you weren't sure about him and you weren't sure if he was a good guy or a bad guy. And I loved that presence he brought to it. And I thought this really showed how great of an actor he is and how he's getting better and better with everything he does. And I just really enjoyed it. I thought he did, hands down, a really good job, and he was one of my favorite parts of the film. Hands down. Amazing performance by Wyatt Russell. So what is The Woman in the Window about? Basically, it's about this character, unfortunately, that has agraphobia, who has the fear of going outside. And basically, she kind of eavesdrops through her windows at the other buildings across the street. Well, one night, she witnesses a murder. And then the rest of the film's about her trying to prove that there was somebody, murdered when everyone else is lying. It's a really great film, really great twist at the end, and totally don't see it coming. I enjoyed it from the beginning. I thought it was so well done. Like I said, that twist is so amazing and just a really classic twist that you didn't see coming. Like, I haven't seen that type of twist in a movie before, I feel. I don't recall that being like a normal thriller type of twist. And I just thought that it was a really great new twist that brought and gave us a really great new movie. If you haven't seen Woman in the Window yet, definitely go check it out on Netflix now. It's totally worth the watch. Not as bad as the critics are making it. It's a really fun film, really well done, and can't wait to hopefully add this to collection in the future. So that's it for this movie review, guys. Always thank you for watching, thank you for liking, and also thank you for subscribing. And if this is your first time here, or you have been here before, don't forget to check out any older new videos you might not have seen mine yet. Now, so if you want to show some support for a guy, check out my Patreon page, where you get to see cool bloopers, outtakes, and all kinds of cool stuff, like some upcoming projects and so forth. So definitely check that out too, people. And also, if you're a huge horror fan, definitely check out the link for the horror pack, where you can get great horror films to your door for a great low price. So definitely check that out too, people. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.